I somehow managed to wear 15 different perfumes in 7 days this week, so I am going to have to get right on with it. So the first one is this little beauty. This is 4711 Aqua Colonia. This is the lemon and ginger. I love these bottles. I love this range. You'll see this next week in my top 20 for life. Oh my god. So the thing with the lemon and ginger is that everything about Aqua Colonia suggests that you should definitely wear these in summery months. Obviously it's a cologne, it's not an eau de toilette or an eau de parfum strength, although to be honest, these last equally as long as a lot of eau de toilettes I've got, and about the same time as some of the eau de parfums that I have if they're like the cheaper ones. So actually, to be honest, they last longer than Kayali, and those aren't cheap. So I sort of still don't really understand how people get away with calling things eau de parfum when they only last for half an hour. But anyway, so this though, because it's lemon and it's such a realistic lemon, this smells like a lemon with a little bit of ginger syrup, so it's got that lovely or like some sugar sprinkled on top of that lemon and then a tiny bit of ginger, you know. I find this goes very lemony in hot weather, like to the point where it becomes a bit sharp, but in colder weather it's absolutely lovely to wear. It's so refreshing, it's so bright and cheerful. Absolutely love this. So I started off Saturday morning wearing that one because I wanted to wake myself up and be all kind of yummy. And then I think I wore 3. I don't know how I managed to do that. When that one wore off, I wore this one. I'm kind of spoiling my 20 for life because I filmed it. I kind of reminded myself that there was loads I wanted to wear. But In Love Again is what I fancied on my birthday. So like I said, oh yeah, I mean, I guess I must have been filming my last one on my birthday on the Saturday. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to wear one of my special perfumes. This is my old signature. This is one of my very few expensive perfumes. Yves Saint Laurent, In Love Again. This is the one that I think smells like muscat wine. It doesn't last a huge amount of time. It's just really pretty. It just brings me back nice memories, to be honest. So I mean, there's not much to say about this one in terms of notes because it just says lemon and ginger, and that's pretty much all I can smell in that particular Aqua Colonia. But this one, In Love Again, the top notes are blackcurrant and mandarin orange, the middle notes are grape, rose and peony, and the base notes are blackberry and musk. The original version of In Love Again also had like tomato leaf and all kinds of things going on, and I don't know whether they just don't list those notes anymore, but there is definitely a slight greenness and a slight aromatic herbaceousness to this in a little way, but it's also sweet, slightly flowery, very grapey, fruity, just very, very pretty, really nice one. It's just a bit of a beautiful classic, In Love Again, but it is quite expensive for the performance, you know, I won't lie. Okay, and then in the evening I went fruity musk. So Lanvin, this is Modern Princess, this is the original Modern Princess. And this one is, I think of this as my apple and freesia musk perfume, because the notes here are top notes of red apple and red currant, middle notes of freesia and jasmine, base notes of vanilla orchid, white musk and white woods. I don't find it massively woody. I don't really get much jasmine. I definitely recognise the freesia because I always think of this as like the Lanvin, what's the other one called? Jeanne. That one to me smells like raspberry, freesia and musk. This is a very similar perfume, but it has a different fruit. That's how I feel about this. This one it gives me the same kind of musky, soapy feeling, and not shampooey at all, but like a sweet bar soapy musk. But this one is like freesia and apple, and Jeanne is raspberry and freesia. So it's definitely sweet. It's a bit floral. I would say if you like kind of creamy appley perfumes that aren't too sharp, this would be really good for you, because the apple's definitely sweet and the red currant doesn't kind of cancel that out. But if you don't like musky perfumes, don't get this because it's so musky. Really nice creamy musk, not a dirty musk, a really clean kind of bar soapy type musk, but it is very musky. And that's one of the reasons I like it so much. But if you don't like musk, avoid that one. Oh yeah, and then on Sunday morning I tested this one out. I got two of these, how do you pronounce it? Malizia bonbons. They're children's perfumes. I got the ice creamy one, which is, it's called actually milk cake. So I got that one, and I got this one. This one's called Mirty Love Eau de Toilette. And this one I think is supposed to be like a blueberry ice cream. Personally, I don't find this one very creamy. I think it's closer to just being like quite a cheap smelling blueberry perfume, but it's kind of cute at the same time. I haven't decided whether I want to keep this one or not. It says freshly picked blueberries which are processed into a delicious creamy ice cream. That's what Mirty Love by Malizia bonbon smells like. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I don't think it smells particularly I don't think it smells very creamy, this one. I wouldn't have guessed it was an ice cream. I would have just thought it was pure blueberries myself. But anyway, so I tested that one out. It's all right. I think milk cake is a much better investment, to be honest, because if you get them in this country, they should only be about £3 or £4, but if you have to get them sent over from Europe, they're more expensive. They tend to be like closer to about like 8 or 9. So you can get, you can sometimes get these for about a tenner, and they're much better quality. Okay, and then I was just in the mood. Oh, what a beaut. Library of Fragrance, stroke Demeter, depending what part of the world you're in. This is baby powder, and it just smells like a very strong baby powder. It's sweet, it's powdery, it's floral. And it sort of was interesting because it does smell like baby powder, but it's really got the intense sweetness of Johnson's baby oil, if you see what I mean. So it's got the powderiness from actual literal baby powder and some of that scent. But I think baby oil is even sweeter. It's got that lovely kind of sweet scent it leaves on your skin. That's exactly what this smells like. This one actually lasts for quite a long time. I think it's the longest lasting Demeter I've come across, with the exception of that one I hated with Christmas in New York, that just literally was one of the strongest and most persistent things I've ever smelt in my life. This one only lists powdery notes, musk and floral notes, and yeah, it's pretty much what it is, but it's very, very sweet. It's really nice. If you like smelling like baby powder, if you like that smell and you find it comforting, oh my god, this is such a good one, honestly. Very, very comforting smell. So I think I tried that on really early in the morning. It's not a long lasting one. I had this on for like part of the day, and then oh yes, I remember what happened. So my plan was to wear this after my shower. So this is a little oil called Forbidden Cherry from Amour Scents. Oh, you probably can't see it. Obviously this is supposed to be Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. So I put this on, and it made me feel sick. It just made me feel sick. So you can see I haven't used this much of it. I've just decanted some into a rollerball because I don't need this much oil. So I'm probably going to see if someone else wants these. It smells kind of nice when you first smell it, if you see what I mean. And it does have a bit of that black cherry when you first smell it. But the cherry goes away, and it just became very sickly and uncomfortable. And to be honest, I've got 3 of these. I still haven't done a proper review, but when they dry down, they all sort of smell very similar to me, and they're all quite sickly. And I think maybe only one of them kind of smells sickly in the way that I think the original perfume should, if you see what I mean. I don't know. I'm not particularly keen on these oils, to be honest. I don't think I'd buy anything from Amour Scents again. I don't know. They're not. they're not quite capturing the genius, I think, of the scents. I think they're too sweet, they're too sickly, they don't have the nuances of them, which is fair enough, you know, they were pretty cheap. So this one, what does it list? Black cherry, bitter almond, vanilla. That doesn't really list anything else. So I really didn't like this. I literally got in the shower and washed it off because it was making me feel sick. So that one didn't work out. I'll pass that on to someone else, or just, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll put that there. I didn't like it, so anyway, after my shower I needed something light and fresh and easy to wear, and because it's been ages, I just decided to go for this beauty. So this is Sarah Jessica Parker from the Lovely collection, and this is Dawn. It's such an easy perfume to wear. It's so pretty. It's like, it's floral, but it's light and it's sweet. It's not screechy, and I find so many floral perfumes so screechy. So top notes here are violet leaf, angelica and citruses. Middle notes are orchid. Base notes are musk, orris root, vanilla, oak moss and vetiver. I think this has got quite a lot of orris root. I think there's a decent amount of vanilla, and that is given a lovely sweetness. I think it's in the votes of this one, violet leaf is voted at the top. I would put angelica and orchid above violet leaf in this, because I don't think it's massively violety to me, but it does have a beautiful greenness when you first spray it. You get a bit of citrusiness, it's definitely musky, but it's just so light and easy to wear. And it smells so clean and fresh. It's like, when you first spray it, it definitely has a bit of a classic floral vibe, but without being too screechy. And then the more it dries down, the more you get that vanilla coming through. And it's such a pretty one. So easy. I would say, if you get headaches really easily, if you're someone who wants to smell fresh, but you work somewhere where you're not supposed to wear perfume, this is such a good one, because I think you just smell beautiful and clean and fresh, and it's not got an obvious perfumey smell. There's something very crisp and clean about this, but it's not at all like headache inducing. It's very soft. So yeah, if like me, sometimes you just need a skin scent that's just comforting and pretty, and you want to feel clean and fresh and lovely, but you don't want to like be strong, you don't want anything that's screechy, you don't want anything that's going to like trigger a headache, or anything that's going to trigger everyone around you being like, God damn, she's wearing a strong perfume. Oh my goodness. In fact, this whole Lovely collection is good for that. All three of them are brilliant, but Dawn I think is probably the easiest to wear from start to finish. So yeah, it was perfect, because I was feeling a bit sick after wearing that last one. Anyway, let's try and make some space for everything else that's about to turn up, because I wore so much this week. It's actually slightly ridiculous. So, okay. What was next? Oh, yes. So, Monday morning was my spa day. Well, I didn't go in the morning. I went in the afternoon. I went for lunch first. And it just so happened that I put on a dress that I was, the last time I wore it, I was wearing Stash. So, it was really quite strong on my dress, and I thought I might as well just wear Stash out for lunch. So I wore Stash, absolutely love it. My friend was like, oh, I haven't smelt that one on you before. And I was like, oh my God, I love it so much. My same friend who I gave a bottle of Katy Perry's Indie to, because she really liked it. So this is top notes: black pepper, sage, grapefruit. Middle notes: atlas, cedar, patchouli, pistachio, white ginger lily. Base notes: massoya wood, oliban, vetiver and musk. And it is just my favourite woody perfume of all time. Sweet, lovely, warm, cosy. And then we went to the spa, and I knew we were going to be like steam rooming, and then saunering, and then they call it a hydrotherapy pool, but it's just a massive hot tub. So I knew that we'd be all around, and then like I'd be smelling like chlorine or whatever, and Stash would very much be washed off, and the chlorine would be an overpowering smell, so the dress wouldn't, And I was like, I need a good spa smell. And I thought, it was a classic. I was talking about this the other day in a video, so I was like, okay, this is the one. And it was so good. This is Jill Sander Sport Water for women. This is such a good perfume for kind of gym, spa, Yeah, if you like going to the gym, or if you're someone who goes swimming, if you're someone who just goes for runs and stuff, this is perfect. It was so perfect after all of that. It's fresh, it's clean, it's laundry-like, it's quite unisex smelling, but I don't think it leans masculine at all. I think the other one of this has that kind of cedar in that I don't like, that makes it smell more masculine. This one, super feminine, super light, lovely, actually quite noticeable though. So I really didn't feel like I was walking out smelling like chlorine. I really felt like I was walking out smelling fresh and delicious, fresh to death. So top notes, yuzu, peach and green leaves. Middle notes, tea, jasmine and rose. Base notes, ambrette, so that's musk mallow. Woody notes and amber. I mean, it's just so easy to wear. It's so fresh. Honestly, like perfect if you are like someone who likes to exercise a lot and wants something fresh for afterwards that isn't going to choke everyone out. You're just going to smell amazing. I would say it's yuzu and peach, ambrette, rose and tea. That's what I think this smells like. I think it's just fabulous. So, and then let's see, I think after my shower in the yes, it must have been, I had a big old shower afterwards when I got when I'd been home for a little while, because I needed to wash my hair after all of that. So I just chucked on when I went to bed, basically. I actually have this decanted into a spray bottle, but so you can see what I'm actually talking about. This is Jeanne On Provence, and this is à la ombre de Amandiers. So it's basically just the most beautiful, ethereal, light almond perfume you're ever going to smell. It smells like almond essence rather than like almond cookies. There is no biscuitiness to this at all. There's no gourmand element in that respect. It's like almond essence, and it's light and sweet and slightly floral because there's iris in it, so it's slightly powdery. So top notes are orange blossom, bergamot and orange, mandarin orange and lemon. Middle notes are almond, milk, I assume that's almond milk, praline. Base notes, iris, vanilla and musk. Beautiful, fabulous for first thing in the morning, fabulous for bedtime. It's very light. It's let's say it's an eau de toilette. Let me have a look. This is the they come in metal bottles, these refills. They're brilliant. Eau de parfum. Well, I mean, doesn't really last like an eau de parfum because it's too light. Oh, I love it though. I love this one. I'm so chuffed with it. So yeah, I mean, I highly recommend this. I've had the one with pear in from this, which was also like one of these recharge bottles, and that one's all right. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty. I wouldn't bother buying it again. I actually ended up using it in one of my reed diffusers in like an air freshener. But I have to say, this one is magnificent. It's just so comforting and beautiful. And when I was wearing it, I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to have to wear that more often because it's so yummy. I'm going to have to try and move these around a bit so it looks a bit better. Let me just bring forward this one. Put this big one over here. Okay. Oh, I've got too many things again to fit on here. How am I going to get all this on? Oh no, I don't know how I'm going to get all these on. All right. So next, oh yeah, another one I tested out. My goodness, I'm still waiting to do a haul on these little cheapies I got. So I am slightly torn on how I feel about this one. This is Violette Macaron from Les Petits, I don't know how to say that, Plaisirs. These are just little French like grocery store perfumes basically. They're super cheap. I got this from, I think, My Origins, I think is where this came from. And it's it's an eau de toilette. I think it's a 120ml bottle, this. And I think it was way less than a tenner. Oh no, 110ml, random amount. When I first sprayed this, I was really into it, really liked it. I like it on my skin. It does smell, it smells like raspberry macarons with like a bit of like candied violet or something. It's very light, it's very pretty. I put this on in the morning and I was like, oh no, I don't really want to wear this outside. I don't really want to wear it outside. It feels like something for indoors. Because I think I would find it a bit sickly, like wearing it for a whole day. I think this might just be one for mulling around the house, the same way I feel about my chocolate musk from Al Nuaim, because that one, I love it, but I think it would be too sickly for wearing out and about. There's something comforting about that indoors at home when I'm kind of snuggling up and stuff, but when I'm actually out and about doing stuff, I don't really like to wear perfumes that I find very, very sweet or too sugary. Sometimes that really just doesn't work for me. So I had this on for a little bit, and then I was like, oh no, that's not really going to work. So I ended up just as soon as it wore off, just putting this one on. So I was like, okay, I just need something easy to wear, and this is one that's really easy to wear. It's so funny. I feel like I've mentioned, if you also watch Sarah May's, I've mentioned quite a few things that are from her worst quality video. We have quite different tastes in certain things. And this was one that she said she likes, but she thinks it smells cheap. So this is Britney Spears' Prerogative. And I feel like the Britney perfumes really depend on your skin chemistry, because the only ones that work for me, and the only ones that don't smell horrifically cheap, are the Prerogative range. I think Prerogative for me is an easier to wear and less plasticky, cheap smelling version of Private Show. And that is the literal opposite to what Sarah finds when it's on her skin. So clearly, like, Private Show works for her, smells nice on her, and this one smells cheaper on her, whereas for me it's completely the other way around. Private Show on me literally smelled like plastic, like horrible cheap plastic. It smelled like a kid's perfume on me, and so did the Private Show VIP, and so did all of the Fantasy range. They all smell like cheap children's perfume on me. They all smell plasticky or shampooy or just terrible. Whereas the Prerogative range, with the Ego, I just no, I love Ego. So what was the other one? Rave just has that kind of pencil shaving wood in it. But apart from that, I would have really liked it. If it didn't have that wood, I'd have loved that perfume as well. But this one smells really nice on me. It smells kind of caramelly. It's got a slight bit of, it's like a caramel latte. That's what it smells like on me. It's not very strong. It doesn't last very long, but it's super pretty. I really like it. And I find it very easy to wear, that one. And then the Prerogative Ego is much stronger and I think more fruity, but that one is delicious as well. So yeah, I think when it comes to Britney perfumes, I think you'll probably know, if you've tested any, which ones are going to work on you and which ones aren't. And just for me, the only Britneys really that work on me are these. So, but they're so cheap, it's not too much of a hideous risk if you're going to blind buy them. Okay, what have I got? Oh, I didn't give you the notes. It's apricot, goji berries and pink pepper. Middle notes are coffee, saffron and red lily. The base notes are sandalwood and amberwood. But honestly, I don't think that those notes describe at all what this smells like. I think it's just, it's random. Now, because I was talking about this the other day, in my last video, I mentioned it. I just thought, I'm going to wear this to work. I just really wanted to. Oh, I was very vintage. Very, very pretty, this perfume. This is Christian Dior June. So I looked up the batch code on this, and I think this one is from 2009. So if you look, my light doesn't really want to show you. This, can you see? It's got quite a thick white sprayer in it. That is from before the most recent reformulation. They don't have that thick white sprayer in anymore. They've got a thinner, more transparent one. So I have a feeling June was, I don't know how many reformulations it's gone for, but I have a feeling that it was reformulated in 2010, and the general feeling on the internet is anything from before then is better, if you see what I mean. So sadly, I have no way of smelling what it smells like now, the modern June, which again, I'm slightly sad because I think it's probably been discontinued because the Dior site doesn't have it anymore. They have it, but they don't have any in stock, and they don't have this in stock hardly anywhere now, which is a real shame. I'd really love to know what the new version smells like compared to this, because this is quite an old bottle, but it's got this amazing kind of, it has got a kind of slightly aldehyde-y, soapy, really old-fashioned kind of Chanel No. 5-y type vibe to it. It doesn't actually smell like Chanel number 5, but you know what I mean, like that vintage, really perfumey vibe when you first spray it. But when it dries down, it's rosewood, sandalwood, vanilla, musk. It's so pretty when it dries down. It's like smooth and it's just lovely. So a lot of notes because it's an old perfume. So Brazilian rosewood, aldehydes, mandarin orange, bergamot and peony in the top. Middle notes, lily, ylang ylang, wallflower, jasmine and rose in the middle. Base notes are amber, sandalwood, benzoin, oak moss, vanilla, patchouli and musk. I don't really get much patchouli in this, and I mean, would I be able to tell you what flowers were in here? I don't really think I'd necessarily recognise them, because I think the woods and the amber and the benzoin and the vanilla and the musk, I think all of those are much stronger. You get more of the kind of orange and aldehydes in the top, but it's just this beautiful, smooth, comfortable, pretty wood, sweet, smooth wood. But like I said, it smells like warm sand, and I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's the vibe it gives you. And June is just the most perfect name for it, and I love this bottle as well. Yeah, I mean, from the bottle, it smells closer to when you first spray it, but the dry down on skin of June is where it is magical. I mean, it's so lovely. So anyway, oh my God, I really just haven't got any space for anything now. Look at this, crazy. Okay, I've still got 2 more and they're both quite big. All right. Yeah, I mean, actually obsessed now. This is a grower, not a shower, this one. Amethyst from Lalique. Absolute stunner. I mean, it has grown on me in the most insane way. This is like signature scent worthy, this perfume. It's a herbal, iced, watery berries and fancy bar soap smell. That's how to explain it. I think it smells niche and I think it smells expensive. I don't think it's screechy. It's really smooth. It's really nice, but it doesn't smell like syrupy berries, you know. I think it smells like there's rosemary and basil in it. I think it's got that soapiness you get from rosemary. I think it's got that basil-y vibe. I think it smells slightly woody, but in a way that doesn't upset me, as if they're fresh berries still on the berry bush. Like you can smell the twigs and the leaves. Do you know what I mean? Oh God, it's so beautiful. My husband really likes this one as well, and he loves the bottle. I showed him the bottle and he thinks it's fabulous, and it is fabulous. So it takes a few wears. So if you've bought this and you've gone, I don't like it, fair enough, you might just not like it. Obviously, if you tried it and you hated it immediately, then fair enough. If you just tried it once and you're like, oh, that's not what I expected, put it away, give it another go. I'm totally fallen in love with it. So top notes: blackcurrant, blackberry, blueberry, mulberry and big strawberry, and that is what makes people think, I think, this is going to be super berry heavy and sweet. And it is a berry perfume, but it is the difference, if you can imagine it, between getting a very ripe, very sweet, juicy, syrupy kind of sweet strawberry and getting a strawberry that's not entirely red yet. It's like a firm, crisp, the kind of strawberry you'd get in like an Italian savoury salad, if that makes sense. So that kind of crunchy, not yet sweet, got a slight acidicness to it, not entirely red, still white at the top. That's the kind of berry smell this is to me. Middle notes are pepper, peony, rose and ylang ylang. Base notes are musk, woody notes and bourbon vanilla. That bourbon vanilla saves it from being screechy and too sharp for me. Now, if you're used to wearing incredibly sweet perfumes, also, if you wear La Vie Belle, this is going to be really sharp to you, I imagine. But if you don't wear like super sweet scents all the time, or you like to have a range, as I do, then I don't think this will be a problem, because I've smelt many berry perfumes that are just very sharp, including the Eclat. Oh, I never get it right. The Amethyst Eclat, I'm just going to call it, and I apologise to anyone who can speak French. that to me is a bit screechy and sharp. I think it smells a bit shampooey. I think it smells a bit cheap compared to this. Whereas this one, not sharp in a screechy or headachy way. I don't get a ridiculous amount of peony, but a little bit. Pepper, I think, makes it a little bit warmer, but it's still quite a cool smell. I'm just obsessed with it. I just love it. So yeah, I mean, really not love at first sight, that one. Love at last sight. I don't know. And then Friday, the last of my ones I wanted to test out. So I wore... Oh, let me move that one that way, actually. I did it again. I didn't check again how to pronounce it. Amour. By Pascal Morabito, and this is the one again that is just a Cacharel Yes I Am. It's lighter than Yes I Am. It's not quite as berry forward, and it's got a little bit more, I think, of the caramel, but in this they call it Dolce De Leche. So the notes here are top notes of raspberry, ginger flower, tangerine, middle notes rose, neroli, gardenia, base notes Dolce De Leche, sandalwood and benzoin. But it still smells like there's cardamom in it. It smells just like Yes I Am, really. And I actually tested out my little tester of Yes I Am, the original, in the evening when I got back after wearing this to work. And they're so similar. It's just the Cacharel one is stronger. And actually, the more the Cacharel one dries down on my skin, the more it smells a little bit, just ever so slightly pencil shaving-y, the wood in it. So I am not sorry to have not kept or not bought one of those. And I've got this, and then at work I topped up with the Larive My Only Wish, which is their dupe of Yes I Am. So I'm quite happy that I've got those two perfumes instead of investing in the actual Yes I Am, because as much I love that profile, I really do, and I like that perfume, but on my skin, when I was comparing it to the other ones, I could really recognise there was a little bit of wood in there that I wasn't so keen on. It definitely had a slight pencil shavings on my skin, so that would have put me off of wearing that perfume if I'd bought it. So I'm really happy that I've got this, because neither of those have that. Neither of those use that same wood. So that was my week. I wore a ton of stuff, as you can see. I never quite know how to put things around, but anyway, so this Wednesday I'll have my top 20 for life video that'll be coming up, so I hope you really enjoy that, and I will see you all again for another one of these on Sunday next week.